All right, I'm Myka Miller, Executive Director of the Guitar Center Music Foundation. This is the Giving Music Podcast, and today we are here with Jae Deal. Today we are here with Jae Deal, friend, musician, producer on a Grammy award-winning album. So I wanted to dig in, just like kind of talking about how we met, because I think it's pretty unique. Do you know? Do you remember?
Yes. Pandemic time.
Yes.
Yeah. All right,
So
I'm starting that?
Yeah, like
Well,
what the concept was, what you did. I mean, I really don't know how it all got started. I just came in towards the end.
yeah, so, I mean, it was one friend asking another to make a referral, we were looking for ways to come together and create something magical. And so your name came up from several people, and
But tell me about, like, Use
Okay,
Your Voice.
Yeah, so Use Your Voice was, it was a collaboration of musicians and artists across 5 continents. And we all sent in our parts digitally through the internet online, and we created music together. It was amazing.
It was incredible.
Yeah, it
I
was
had
actually
actually
incredible.
never really recorded at home like that,
Mm-hmm.
so, and of course everybody was bored and didn't know what to do. And so that was very awesome for me, like to be a part of that. And I thought the music was also incredible. It wasn't like classical, but it wasn't, it like didn't fit into any genre.
That's the thing, and shout out to Dr. Soka Ojakangis, that I had met her while she was working her doctorate program at USC at the time, because I was teaching at USC at the time. So the music spanned several different genres, and like you said, there were the classical musicians, there were the pop musicians, and everything in between and outside of.
Yeah.
So a lot of classical musicians were like, some of them didn't even have the gear.
Right.
The pandemic hit, they were like, I'm not playing at the symphonic hall right now.
Yeah,
Like, what do
totally.
I do? So that was cool.
And now everybody like kind of has a setup and is expected to do that. But that was my very first time. So,
Wow.
and I think, it brought together so many people, like you said, from different continents. And then I don't know if you remember this, but then we kind of did a Use Your Voice for kids, where we had like, we did some stuff virtually with kids from, it was Brazil,
Right.
Colombia, El Salvador. So I don't know if
That
you
was
remember
amazing.
that.
I do. That's great. Who did you work on that with?
With Ben and OC.
Yes.
And
most definitely.
Carlini, and
Yeah.
then Pablo Mendez.
That's right.
So,
Yeah.
and then the kids from Colombia with Juan Carlos.
Yeah, those projects were beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's how we met.
Yeah.
And so I don't even remember when we met in person. I think we met like at a park or something. We were like, social
Yeah, because
distancing.
everything, so it's like we had the masks and sitting outside at the park. Nobody could meet in the actual building.
It's so bizarre now when you
Yeah.
think about it.
Yeah.
But that was really cool. That was a great project. So thank you for having me on it, because it
Thank you
was
for being
unlike
on it,
anything I've ever done. So I'm actually interested in like how you got started doing music. Did you get started? Because just tell me how you got started with music. Your origin story.
Well, what do you consider music?
I mean, like if it was you as a baby playing on an organ, just messing around.
Okay. Well,
Or-
I did beat the pots and pans
Okay.
like a drum set in the kitchen. My mother clearly recalls those moments, and she reminds us. So I used to see music in church.
Yeah. Okay.
So I can't even remember when all that started, but the exposure has always been there.
And what kind of church was it?
Pentecostal, Kojic,
Because I thought you're Quaker.
I went to a Quaker middle school, and I pretty much have adopted a lot of that culture and appropriated it into my lifestyle, even till today.
Yeah.
But I grew up, my family is Pentecostal Christian.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to make an assumption, but I feel like so many of us started in the church.
Mm-hmm.
And, you kind of you see a lot of people who are really talented but never learned like how to write music, how to read music, but they can play their ass off, And so I just wanted to talk a little bit about like the role of the church in creating musicians and giving music and making music accessible.
Yeah, it's the music community associated with church is astounding. Music is such a big part of that worship experience for Pentecostal churches. So it's a major integral part of every service. And so what it used to do is give multiple musicians opportunity to come together and it feels funny saying perform, but yeah, it was a performance, but it's in church, it's a form of service.
Right.
So
and praise to the Lord.
Right. And now we get paid for that.
Well, I was going to pivot to that because
Oh my
how
gosh.
long did you play at Faithful Central?
I was there for like 22 years.
What?
Yeah.
You don't even look old enough to have been there for 22 years.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
And what did you play? Like, did you?
I started out on bass.
Okay.
And then for a while, when Kirk Franklin was the youth pastor, I was the musical director for that. So I would go back and forth between bass and doing programming and stuff over there. And then I came back and transitioned to aux keys.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you must have like interacted with so many musicians during that time.
It's a great community, man. Like Gordon Campbell brought me to that church.
Okay.
And he got me a lot of gigs outside of that. But my association there helped me to meet Marlon Williams. And he was like, one summer, he's like, yo, what you doing this summer? I was like, I don't know. He's like, you want to go on tour with Snoop Dogg? And I was like, let me think about it. I'll get back to you. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't. So, when you played with Janet Jackson, was that before Faithful Central? Like, give me like the timeline.
In between, it's always it's the kind of thing now where church musicians, if they find a favorable situation, the church will let them leave for these stints of time and then come back.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Guitar Center's like that too, by the way.
In what way?
They'll let people go on tour and then come back.
Oh, I love that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I see a lot of similarities between Guitar Center and the church community because we used to congregate at the Guitar Center.
Oh hell yeah!
I have so many stories. Like I'm so glad I'm able to give music in this way.
Yeah.
Now through the foundation because, honest confession, bro, I used to take my mini disc to the Guitar Centers. Boy, I was plugged that joint in the oven to everything. I used to record half an album up in Guitar Center.
Really?
Oh my gosh, bro. We couldn't afford them keyboards. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't know you could actually record. That's amazing.
Oh my goodness. When digital came out in the palm of my hand, it was a wrap. It was a wrap.
I wonder how many people have recorded albums at Guitar
I'm not going to
Center.
incriminate anybody. I'm just saying, it's y'all know, y'all did it. You was out there with me. You know what I'm saying? You already know. You get you a nice 1/8-inch plug on one side and split the 2/4 inches. You know what I'm saying? And then, if you were smart about it, you might have another something playing the click track or whatever, or the actual track in some headphones and then record. You just got him.
That's fascinating. That I had not heard.
Yeah.
So that's cool. So tell us a little bit. You grew up in Baltimore.
Yes.
And I love your story. Well, I'm jumping all around, but like, so let me just start. Like when you came to LA, let me just back up a second. Cause I know you have this great story about, it was like just you and a bass or something like that. Like you have, when you arrived in LA.
Oh yeah. I mean, listen, I took my last final exam at Morgan State University in 2002, like May, April. And a week later, I was on a plane. I went to the airport. I had like $17 in my pocket.
Okay, that's what it was. Yeah, I knew it was something like Very specific. $17
And
and a bass.
Well, no.
Oh,
I saw the maybe did I take my bass? I don't know. But I saw the autobiography of Quincy Jones at the BWI on the book stand for $14. And I was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take a chance on what I'll get out of this book versus this 14 extra dollars in LA. So I bought the book.
you did.
I bought the book.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I showed up in LA and I thought I had a job. So
Okay.
but I didn't.
Okay. So now let's back up to Baltimore
Yeah.
and then like how you got into music and, did you go to a music arts school? Like, what was your childhood like growing up?
So I tried to get into the Baltimore School for the Arts, and a lot of my friends got in, and I couldn't get in. So I went to Poly, which is an engineering math school. I went for 1 year until my honest parents let them know that I moved to Randallstown. So they was like, "Oh, you out of here. You got to go to zoning." I couldn't go to that school. I had to go to the school where we lived.
Oh, okay.
So then I went to Randallstown.
Wow.
Yeah, but I was in the AP track for math, science, etc.
So did you kind of think like music is not my thing?
I always knew music was my thing.
Okay.
It's just that it's a haze now. I didn't know if it. I'm not going. For a while, I thought that I was undisciplined because there were times when I would have lessons and then I would short circuit the process because my ear, So once I heard it, I was like, "Oh, she just." Yeah.
Yeah. You're like,
And
I
so
can
the
do that.
teachers sometimes were getting a little frustrated, like, he's really relying, he's not learning how to read. So my parents probably were like, well, why are we spending this money on bro doing that, So my brain and my education was shaped by math and technology. And when it was time to go to college, I was in math world. I was in engineering world. So I applied as an electrical engineering major, but the music program at that university was robust.
Oh.
Dr. Nathan Carter was there. And so
This is at Morgan State?
Morgan State University. So I was able to hang around musical geniuses
Oh, okay.
who are, superheroes in their own right today, like Jonathan Nelson. He went to Morgan State University. Jason Nelson was associated. Eric Scott, Darren Atwater was. So these are major figures in my world.
Did you know that you wanted to go to a HBCU, or did you have like other schools, or how did that happen?
I'm gonna just say this. I'm so glad I went to Morgan State. And my dad graduated from Morgan State University.
Oh, okay.
He just retired from 20-some years of teaching at Morgan State University. And so I'm glad it worked out that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That's interesting because, I'm a fourth generation Longhorn. So
Oh,
I
didn't know that.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, my great grandfather. So I never really considered any other schools. Like I had my little backup schools, but they were like in, TCU, which is too close to Dallas, and then, TWU. Like they were all too close to Dallas. So like I needed to get a little bit further out.
Yeah.
But I'm interested because could you talk about HBCUs and music, the role of music in those schools?
Right.
And I know you weren't in the band and you weren't in like a fraternity or anything, but like when I went to Cleveland with your friend Marlon,
Yeah.
my world opened up. Sorry. I was like, wow, they had all these little dances, each fraternity, each sorority, and I was just like stunned. I just sat there stunned, and then the band played from Warrensville Heights, the kids, and I mean, it was awesome. But you weren't part of that, right?
I was a part of all of that.
Oh, you were?
Yeah. So I played before I even got into Morgan. When I was in high school, like 10th, 11th grade, I was traveling with the Morgan State University choir internationally.
Oh, wow. Okay, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, so through the interconnections of people who were going to the school who were a few years older than me, but they knew me from church, they would take me with them to rehearsals, and then Dr. Carter was like, "Oh, well, that's the bass player."
Oh,
It
nice.
is what it is. So I had that connection, and then so many of my friends joined organizations, Greek organizations, and I most definitely would have also if I wasn't on tour by then.
Yeah.
So because I started touring while I was in college, but my roots tied strongly to these organizations you're mentioning and the music program at Morgan State University.
And there's like, okay, so I forget the number, but there's like a certain number of fraternities and sororities.
9.
Nine.
Yeah.
And they each have their own thing, right? Like,
yeah.
I mean, I never knew about any of this. So it was
Yeah.
like fascinating to
Yeah.
me. And so what's the role, would you say, music has at HBCUs?
Well, black people, music is going to be part of everything. You know what I mean?
Yes.
From the barbecue to cleaning up the house on Saturday to, getting in the car. Like, aux cord is the vibe 24/7. And so naturally, even the soundtrack of the social scene in general, it really impacted me because like I said, I grew up in a Orthodox Christian Pentecostal home, and all my parents played was gospel. They probably knew I played the radio and all that other stuff, but they were like, "Don't play that. We not listening to that." So there were so many songs and so much of the music culture I didn't really get to be immersed with until I got to Morgan State.
Okay.
Like the song Frankie Beverly, "Before I Let Go." I'd never heard of that song till I was, and
Yeah,
so
because you were like kind of sheltered.
I heard it at a party, and it was like dun 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 dun, and everybody, I was like, "Oh, what's going on, bro?" I was like, "Yo, what's happening?" You know. So between that, the role that it plays, it's just the soundtrack to the cultural experience. There's always going to be some music behind everything, whether it's political protests, if it's I'm chilling, I'm good, weddings, and almost every culture has it, but we for sure.
Yeah.
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 Blacks in the Western society and the diaspora as a whole, is going to be some music,
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I was never exposed to any of that. So like that was, it just blew my mind.
Shout out to Marlon. Thank you.
Yes, yeah.
Marlon C. Robinson.
Oh yeah, and he missed the event, so shame on you. But I remember like growing up in Texas, I was in marching band, and I remember we played this other school from Dallas, and they had like a Southern style marching band, and I was like, oh my God, why aren't we doing that? Like I was so mad because they were having so much fun and like, they're getting down, and it was just like, I was just like, we are so straight and boring. Like
it's a whole thing.
It's a whole thing.
Like some schools get together and you losing the football game. It's like, oh, bro, there's just some dudes running around. But our band, we looking for our band gonna smack you when we get out there.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's a game within a game, actually.
Yeah. So I want to talk about a little bit like your transition from arriving in LA with $17 or maybe $3 actually now, and then how you got to a Grammy award-winning album.
Well, it definitely didn't happen in a day. So to explain the transition, I'm going to ask you to narrow it down. Where would you like me
I'm
to...
thinking about, young people. Giving music is our thing. So, who gave you the opportunity of music? How did you get... You thought you had a job, you didn't have a job. How did you get the job you got? Just kind of like how, and I know it's all people and connections and networking.
Yeah.
So like what advice would you give to some kid who's showing up in LA with $3 in their pocket?
Yeah. Let me take this route of appreciating the human resource for being a transcendent source of of mobilization and empowerment. So it's about people, valuing people. Marlon Barrow gave me the opportunity. We were creating and we didn't know what it was. No, let me take that back. We were creating for something and it didn't go towards that purpose.
Right.
And it sat for a while and then got picked up. So but that was through, I met him through meeting his sister at a 1500 or nothing event.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And it's just a matter of and we were at the food truck and one of us made a comment that made the other laugh, and he got to talking and she said, "Oh, you got to meet my brother." And so it's just been things like that where you're giving to the human community at large in different ways, and it adds up. That intention of one for another and enjoying life eventually plants a seed into giving music in some kind of way.
Mm-hmm. So your advice would be?
I mean, you can be a jerk about certain aspects sometimes, because when I got thicker into the business, I was like, man, you have to be on it about this and that, leading with kindness and love.
Yeah.
But being stern at the same time, not letting up on certain principles. But there's a respect for the intrinsic value of every human that I lead with, whether you're on my side or on the opposing side. And I'm like, I value you as a person, baseline level, because you're a human. I love you.
Yeah.
You tripping right now, maybe, but I wish you the best in the middle of, let's get this together. Let's get this cleaned up right now. So
I think that's important because I do think that we've had our differences and arguments, but I always felt like you loved me unconditionally, and so it didn't matter.
Yeah.
We can argue. At the end of the day, it'll be all right. I was trying to think about that time you put that timer on, and I can't remember exactly. I can't remember exactly why you did that. Was it because I was supposed to be listening to you, or you were giving me 3 minutes to talk to? I can't remember why. I'm sorry. And everybody who knows me is going to be like, I'm going to start doing this to you, Myka. I'm going to start doing this.
I need a break. Yo, that is so me. Yo, that's hilarious. That is so me. And you heard me say it earlier, and then I said, let me keep this to a certain amount of minutes.
That's what made me think of it.
Oh, my gosh, bro. Oh, my God. Because especially, I have the capacity to listen, right? But at a certain point, I value my time. And I'm like, if somebody's dominating the conversation and there needs to be some parity and balance in who gets the amount of time, I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Let's just be aware of how long that just took that you just talked. And I would like the same amount of time, please. And if somebody gets me to that point, they have a hard time recognizing that they, because I'm concise and I'm intentional. If I said it once, I feel like it has more impact if I say it and I'm like, I'm not going. People get to explain, and I'm like, bro, that's wasting time. Like, I'm letting you know I'm not going to be there. And then they're like, but
okay.
you should be there. And they going for 5-6 minutes. And I'm like, well, I got somewhere else to be. Then I was like, all right, well, let me get my 5-6 minutes. And they might be like, I'm not. Now, you is a difference because it's like we have such a high level of respect for each other that I actually wanted to hear.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, because when I don't, I'm like, I'm gone.
You just wanted to hear 3 minutes worth. That was it.
I was challenging you to get the main point within 3 minutes.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Oh my God. That was great. I kind of had forgotten about that. What was the other thing? What's the thing the Mandalorian says?
I have spoken.
Yeah, I feel like
yeah,
that's
what's the name?
I have spoken.
Krillin, yeah,
they're like, that's it.
I have spoken.
Yeah, that's it. So I feel like you also do that a lot. That's great.
Yeah.
So I think I hit all my points, but I wanted to talk to you about like how was it being on tour with Janet Jackson?
It's the best.
Like in what way? I can't even imagine like being on such a huge stage with so many people and so many fans. And how did you keep your center? And
Yeah, well, part of what keeps the center is like there's so many talented people around you. You really can't get a big head
okay,
about it. And then at the helm of it is an icon. So that's one. And then there are other people who could have done my job probably better. It's just that that's who God at that time had it for me to be there. Because I was filling in for Adam Blackstone.
oh, you were.
Yeah, Adam brought me.
Oh,
Adam brought me into.
oh, I
Did
didn't
you
know
did you
that.
know that? Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Adam hired me for my first job with Janet as a programmer, and then there was a couple of tours that he had to go off and do, and it was like, Jay knows the show, and he does play bass. So then I played bass on a few
Oh wow.
rounds of the tour, and then when he came back,
Okay. And how
yeah.
did you meet Adam? And just in case y'all don't know, Adam Blackstone is I don't even know how to describe him. He does the Emmys, he does the ESPYs,
And he's Emmy Award winning.
he's
Grammy
Grammy Award winning.
Yeah.
He does the Super Bowl shows. I mean, this guy is at the top of his game right now.
Yeah.
So how did y'all meet?
We met through because I'm living in Baltimore and he was affiliated with the Philly scene. So I would go back and forth up and down the road because that's like the
It's not that
distance
far.
between here and OC, really,
Okay, really?
or Orange County. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize
and
it was that close.
yeah, it's like an hour, a little over an hour drive. And I met him and his current wife separately at different times in life. And then they ended up getting married. And so it just increased the bond and, collapsed the degrees of separation through some that and other things. So, and it was his wife. She came to me, she said, I want to write this song.
Oh, right.
20 years ago. Yeah. And I was like, cool. And, and it was about this guy she liked,
Oh, it was about him.
It's about Adam.
Oh, cool.
And the song sat for 20 years. And then 20 years later, we got 2 Grammy nominations together for that song.
What's the name of that song?
It's called Vulnerable. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just want you to know that, so Adam was just the music director for our gala.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't here. I was talking to him, and he's like, Myka, I got a problem. And I was like, oh, he's dropping out. He's dropping out. I was going to try to convince him. I was ready. I was starting to think of all my points. He's like, I got invited to play at the Vatican.
Yeah, that was
So
a
I was
big
like,
joint.
well,
Yeah.
okay, for the Pope. But if it was anybody else, I would try to convince you otherwise. So he wasn't there, but I just want to say thank you because ever since I started this job, I wanted him to be the music director of our event,
He's
because
the man.
I love watching him play. Like I'm getting chills just thinking about it because you feel like you went to church, I mean, and his energy and the way, that was what was missing for me. I mean, the event was amazing, but I told him, the night of, he was texting me, he said, how did it go? And I was just like, I missed your energy, what you bring to the table.
Yeah,
He's like
and
such
he's
a special guy.
transcendent person. He sent a great unit in there, and Adam in his own right is such an infectious person
Yeah.
with a very unique vibe. So yeah, we did miss him,
Yeah, but thank you because that's because of you. Also, I wanted to point this out. Jay knows everybody.
Wow.
And everybody knows. Wait, let me rephrase that. Everybody knows Jay.
Wow.
Which is totally different because I remember we went to NAMM one year and it was like the mini NAMM, NAMM Light. I forgot what we were calling it, but I always I see everybody I know.
NAMM Junior.
NAMM Junior. And I always see everybody I know and I get so excited and I just and you knew way more people than I did. And I was getting kind of jealous and I'm like, dang, everybody knows you. But everybody does know you. You're like Kevin Bacon in music.
Wow.
That's what you are. It's
Wow, that's a
one
tall
degree
order.
of separation to Jae Deal. No, seriously. Think about it. It's the truth.
What?
I talk to anybody out there and they're like, oh yeah, Jae Deal, yeah. Oh yeah, Jae Deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So I'm a little bit jealous of that.
Don't be.
So what, and maybe you don't want to talk about this, but what made you leave Faithful Central?
It was just time, you
Yeah,
know.
22 years. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a change in leadership, a whole
Mm.
vibe and culture shift, and you know, I voluntarily wouldn't have left, but it wouldn't have been the best thing for me to stay.
Mhm.
So circumstances made it to where everybody's happy now, and
Mhm.
it's like it
It's
was
like a
the
new
best thing.
crew. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and it pushed me to do some things that I've always wanted to do, but I was comfortable enough where I was to not venture out.
Do you get to sleep in now?
Oh yeah, you know what's so crazy is I get to go to other churches now.
Mm.
I haven't gotten to visit any other churches.
Mhm. For 22 years.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was cool, and I still go back to Faithful Central's home. That's my
Yeah.
family, and you know the way that things came to a culmination was great. You know, I can always go back
Yeah.
and reciprocate love. But it was like, wow, it's a big world out there, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So what have you been to any churches recently of note?
Well, some you may not have heard of, but I played at a Seventh-day Adventist church
Oh,
named Ephesus
okay.
a couple weeks ago, filling in for Maddie, who's an amazing bass player. I played at Glen Arden in D.C. one time,
Okay.
filling in. What else? There's been some
Because I
other
always just
things.
see like this like West Angeles on Crenshaw. You know, I'm always like curious. Like, I bet they got amazing music.
Stop in. Oh, West End. Oh, they are iconic.
Really?
They're probably the best gospel band in LA. Like there's some killing ones, but as that's just the consistency over the years and what they've been able to do to influence what happens today. Go check it out.
Well, you know, I have a hard time getting up, so
Yeah,
I
that
never
part.
got to I never got to see you play either for the same
Yeah,
reason.
all right. Well, they have night services sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I could do nights. Yeah. Yeah, I could do nights.
Yeah.
You know what? There is one other thing I wanted to ask you because now I just got to see the time, so that made me think. What in the heck is pure mathematics? Your degree is
Oh,
in pure mathematics,
right.
and I have no idea what that is.
It is instead of like the mechanics of two plus two is equal to four. That's a fact. Or about how to teach mathematics. It's more about the abstraction of why does two plus two equals four.
Mm. Whoa. Okay.
You know?
That's deep.
Yeah.
I still don't really understand, but I think that's pretty hot. You know?
Yeah, yeah, because it's like, yo, you know,
Also, everybody talks about like the connection between music and math, and obviously, you know, it's like fractions and whatever. But I find that a lot of musicians are not really good at math.
I think a lot of it is messaging, especially internal messaging. You know, people were telling me that I was good at math, and that probably made me better.
Hmm.
And to the point to where I was telling myself, oh, I know I'm good at math. It just could have been just as easy to plant the seed like, oh, you're horrible at math. You know?
Yeah.
And you do that a couple of times to a kid and they'll get the confirmation bias that, oh, maybe I am bad at math.
Hmm.
I'm horrible at math.
Yeah.
You know? So musicians, young people, anybody alike, I explain it to them this way. I say, first of all, put a yet on the end of put a yet on it.
Mm.
At the end of the statement, say, well,
I can't do this yet.
yet.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I'm not good at math yet.
Yet. Oh,
And then
okay.
they give you a break. See, you feel their cerebral energy. It's like,
Yeah. There's an opportunity out there somewhere.
yeah, yeah. I'm programming my brain to understand that this is only temporary.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm going to get better at it.
Yeah.
You
But
know?
that's really interesting that, I mean, let's say like your parents hadn't said you were good at math or your teachers. You might have gone a totally different direction.
Could have been. And people were telling me I was good at music, though. You know, so I was just like, I'm gonna weather the storm. These people might not see it yet, but you know, my churches, they're supporting me. They telling me I sound great. So let me
Mm-hmm.
just stick with
So, as a board member of Guitar Center Music Foundation,
it.
How do you feel like you are giving music? And maybe it's not in relation to us. Maybe, maybe it's church, maybe it's something else. But how are you actively giving music?
The foundation is a big part of it, and sometimes even my daughter gets on me. She'd be like, "Do they pay you for the?" And I'm like, and it's not like I'm being a Superman it's just that the care about the people that we help is something that people around me see me do 24/7. Like
Yeah.
I care how well we do because of the work that's being done. And shout out to you. You do amazing. Like really, it feels like a staff of 50 people.
I'm a doer.
Yeah, yeah, and just having the instincts and for years everything you did to help grow the Harmony Project. Is that the name of it?
Yeah,
Harmony
yeah.
Project. And then when you came aboard the Guitar Center Music Foundation, it was just transformational in the work that was being done, on a national level. And I care about that. International now. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And I care about that.
Yeah.
That's one way of giving back. So it's like sometimes it's hard for people in nonprofit and churches because there's a heavy service component, but it's a business
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
you gotta, there's a bottom line that you're trying to stay far away from. So you gotta operate as a business to do that. But I never lose sight of the why it's happening. Then when I hear those stories, like seeing the firefighters being able to be recognized in that way and being given gifts, and to see how people rallied together at the auction and to donate gifts.
I want to tell you, one of the firefighters actually came up to me afterwards, and his son goes to USC. He's doing music business.
Oh,
or some. Is that
cool.
it? I didn't even know that was a degree.
Oh yeah, the music industry program
Is that part of the Thornton School?
Most definitely.
Wow.
Yeah, Mike Garcia and those the people over there, amazing.
And you used to teach there.
Yeah.
And you taught in what I forgot exactly what you taught, a course on hip hop, history of hip hop.
Yeah.
But then you also did like producing or.
Yeah. So Rick Schmunk. He hired
His house
me.
burnt down.
I know, man. Shout out to Rick. He has been a soldier on the battlefield for education, and you almost would never know the things that he endured. So I really have much appreciation for him personally and as an educator. Like he's amazing, and an ally of ours, of course. But I taught under him in music production and music technology.
Okay.
And then in the scholarly division side, I co-taught with Sean and I hip hop music and culture.
Yeah. And would you say, because I'd like to say this, because I'm also a Trojan, that USC was kind of ahead of its time in terms of like other universities?
Yeah, we're killing the game.
Okay.
I'm not going to mention the competition, but they had it
the foresight
for a while.
Like Dean Cudietta, right? Wasn't he the one? Like he and I both started the same year, 2002.
Okay.
So he was the new, and I just remember him being very forward thinking and like all of this music tech and music industry, and like nobody else was doing that at the time.
It definitely helped, and then the new dean as well, carrying the torch. Yeah, and so USC is also being in Los Angeles, right next to Hollywood. It's a pipeline into the international market that's undeniable for the music industry. So there's some exciting things going on. And, I appreciate education. I promote the category, but because some of y'all other schools, y'all had it for a minute, bro. USC, Patrice Rushen was over there for a while.
Some real big players.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, I'll see you later. I have spoken. No, really, honestly, thank you so much for coming on. I mean, you came onto the board. You were my first board member that I brought on when I came in to Guitar Center. So, thank you for riding this wave with me and being a part of it and for coming on the show.
Oh, thank you. It's my honor to be able to give, because that means I have something to give.
Absolutely.
And I'm looking forward to the many great things that you do with this podcast.
Cool.
Yeah.